After a 5-week break for the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship, excitement was reaching fever pitch ahead of rounds 10, 11 and 12 at Oulton Park. The scenic Cheshire circuit always attracts a huge crowd of avid Btcc fans, and the supporters poured in to see another amazing weekend of wheel-to-wheel action. With thunderstorms plaguing the 31-strong grid for qualifying, it was the eBay Motors BMW of Colin Turkington which set the pace. A superb lap in tricky, drying conditions saw him go half a second quicker than the chasing pack, although a red flag in the dying moments of qualifying put paid to the chances of a last-gasp shake-up. Jason Plato looked to have the pace in his MG to match the Ulsterman over a lap, but had to settle for second on the grid, ahead of Gordon Shedden and Turkington's teammate Rob Collard. It was a tough session for championship leader Andrew Jordan, who found himself way down in 13th, with fellow title contender Matt Neal for company in 14th. Much to the delight of the army of spectators at Oulton Park, the sun was shining as race day dawned, and having set the pace on a wet track, both Turkington and Collard proved that the BMW was the car to beat in the dry as well. A strong start from both cars saw Turkington lead his teammate into turn one, and the pair never looked back. Plato slotted into third ahead of Shedden and was able to keep in touch with the leading duo, but never got close enough to mount a charge. Further down the order, an unbelievable train of cars ran nose to tail in the midfield for all 12 scorching laps. Hunter Abbott and Warren Scott had a coming together early on at Hislops. That dropped the pair down the order and out of contention, but further up the road a fascinating battle developed between Btcc stalwarts Matt Neal and Alain Menu. The two ran within inches of one another for most of the race, with Neal trying hard to find a way through at Shell Oils. Neal eventually made a move stick at Old Hall to take 13th place at a point that could prove vital come the end of the year. It was the eBay Motors pair that took a commanding 1-2, however, with Plato happy to hold off Shedden for his first podium in 4 races. It was the same story at the front for race 2, as the all-BMW front row led the way from lights to flag. Turkington and Collard drove away from the field, but it was Rob Austin that made the biggest move off the line to jump into a podium position. As the 1 Series BMWs made their escape, Austin acted like a cork in the fast-moving bottle in the country. Plato was inches from the rear bumper of Sherman for the whole contest, but the chasing MG driver kept his cool and settled for another solid haul of points rather than risk a non-finish. There was drama early on between two former champions, as Alain Menu and Fabrizio Giovanardi had a coming together at Hislops that sent the Airwaves Racing Focus spinning down the order. Menu's VW was soon to get caught up in even more door bashing, as he then clashed with Jordan several times as the two swapped positions into Old Hall. More contact at Cascade sent the Honda Civic sideways and let Menu through, but their positions were reversed after the race. In the aftermath, Jordan found himself scrapping with the Ford Focus of Dave Newsham and the Vauxhall Insignia of Jack Goff. As Jordan made a move by, Goff saw an opportunity and followed the Pertec car through. This left him side by side with Newsham on the exit. In the resulting contact, Newsham's Focus was sent spearing into the Armco. With the safety car out, the field was bunched up once more, and there was more shuffling to come before the flag. A last corner, last lap lunge from Matt Jackson put his Airwaves Racing Focus into the top 6 in the team's 250th touring car race. It was Tordoff who lost out in the move, as he was forced out wide on the exit of Lodge and dropped from 6th to 9th in one corner. At the front though, both Turkington and Collard kept up the pace to take another double podium for WSR, but Collard was demoted to 3rd for overtaking under safety car conditions. This promoted Austin to a populous 2nd place and his first podium of 2014. The weather was to throw a spanner in the works for race 3, as the heavens opened with a dramatic deluge just before the action got underway. The top 8 cars were reversed, putting Aron Smith on pole ahead of Tom Ingram, Jackson and Shedden. But with the sun shining as the lights went out, it was always going to be a tough race to predict. Smith held his position at the front, but it was a great start for Jackson and Collard off the line. With all the front runners on wet tyres, there was drama immediately as Jack Goff, Matt Neal and Hunter Abbott were sent spinning into the barrier on the exit of Old Hall Corner. The DNF topped a torrid weekend for Neal, while a problem with Ingram's Speedworks Toyota Avensis saw him retire after his front row start. These incidents brought a brief safety car period, and as the racing got underway once more, there was a heart-stopping moment for Jackson, who held on to a massive slide going through Cascades, dropping him well down the order. This promoted Rob Collard to 2nd place, but it wasn't to last. Contact with Plato at Lodge spun the BMW out of a possible third podium spot of the day. Plato was to have another scuffle with an eBay Motors car as he became embroiled in a battle with Turkington late on in the contest. With the MG clearly having the edge, a nudge at Shell Oils just pushed the Ulsterman wide enough for Plato to slip past. That gave Jason his second podium finish of the weekend. The number 99 car almost looked like claiming second on the final lap as he hunted down Shedden's Civic Tourer, but Plato lost momentum and couldn't make a move stick, having to back off at Druids and losing the run on his rival. With all the action going on behind, it was Aron Smith putting in the most impressive performance, reading the conditions and maintaining the gap from start to finish, taking his second ever win in the Btcc and the first for Team BMR and the Volkswagen Passat CC. It was a popular result up and down the paddock and a great way to end a fascinating day of racing in front of the legions of fans at Oulton Park. With the sun setting and the party starting, Louise spoke to an elated Aron Smith.
Aron, what a day it's been for Chrome Edition Restart Racing.
Yeah, certainly. To come away with our first win for the team and myself, I couldn't be happier.
So looking forward to the next round at Croft, how do you see things shaping up for you there?
Funny enough, Croft is where we've done most of our testing. We did a 3-day test there in the pre-season, and I'd say it's my favourite track on the calendar. It has a mix of everything. It's in a great place. We always get a huge turnout of fans, and it's one of the ones where the fans can get really into the pits, have a good look around the garages, and it's one of the best circuits on the calendar.
What kind of what does it demand from a car?
Yeah, it has a mix of everything from high speed to low speed. So it's a real test of a chassis. That's why we chose to do 3 days there. You need to have good rear stability, which is what we have, and good traction out of those final few hairpins, which the BMs have, but we will be able to nick it out of them.
So do you think it's going to be the kind of circuit that suits the rear-wheel drive cars then?
I think so. Like, historically, they've always gone well there, but then again, we saw what the BMs done at the start of this weekend, and we've turned it around at the end. So I think it's fair game. I think we can give them a run for the money.
What about overtaking? Because there's not been much of that here at Oulton Park. How do you see that being at Croft? A bit more action on track?
Yeah, that's it. That's what Croft really opens itself up to and gives you much more overtaking opportunities. To be perfectly honest, here, once you get out into the lead, it's very difficult to get by. But with Croft, you have to keep an eye on your mirrors at pretty much every corner on the track. So it's a track where you can go from first to 15th in a handful of corners. So I think we'll see a lot more bumping and banging and a lot more racing what British Touring Cars is renowned for.
So fun for you guys and fun for the fans to watch as well.
That's it. It's such a good challenge. There's so many good spectating points, like turn one, that complex. It doesn't do it justice just watching it on the TV. You come down, you hear the cars. They sound like monster trucks in comparison to what they look like on TV. So it's one of the best ones to spectate on.
We'll see you there and enjoy your celebrations for the win here at Oulton Park.
Thank you very much.